Hi, my name is Gina. I'm a spiritual teacher, creator of Soul Quest, and the LGBTQ advocate within the spiritual world. Welcome back to The Soul Work, a weekly show where we look at a strategy, a process, a technique, or a thought for your spiritual growth. In this episode, I want to talk to you about crystals, and I'm a little bit excited about this one. Okay, I'll continue. Crystals. I'm going to start off by talking to you about how I came across crystals. Then I'm going to show you a huge range of different ones. I've got loads scattered around in front of me right now. And then I want to finish off by talking about how you can use them. Let's get started. How did I come across them? I was very littler than I am now. I was very little. I was aged maybe 4, 5, something like that. And I remember going to sleep one evening. I went up to bed. We had family friends round. And lovely lady, she was very much into crystals and healing and very alternative. Absolutely love her to bits. She came up to my room and she gave me a crystal. This crystal. It's a piece of tiger's eye. She handed it to me and she said, I want you to sleep with this under your pillow. And I did. From that day forward, I slept with it every night under my pillow. And then as I got a bit older, I started to put it into my pocket as well. So I was sleeping with it on an evening, and I was also carrying it with me during the day. It's been with me ever since. I'm 35 years old. Here it is. She also gave me a piece of rose quartz. Now, not this piece of rose quartz. This is a little bit big. But she gave me a rough piece of rose quartz like this one, a little bit smaller, and I was able to put that in my pocket. And she said to me, when you wake up in the morning, put this in your pocket. And I did, for many, many years. I've still got it. So that's how I became introduced to crystals. I've had a huge thing for crystals ever since. Started collecting them. Every time I go into a mind, body, spirit show, or I go into a metaphysical shop, any of those kind of places where they have crystals, I'm always drawn to the crystals. So if you ever lose me, that's where I am. I'm in the crystal section. Whenever I travel around the world, I always look for different crystal shops because different countries have different crystals. Absolutely love them. I studied geology at A level. I was so into rocks and natural disasters and crystals, obviously, that I thought, okay, I want to learn a bit more about this. So I did an A level in geology, and yeah, I guess the rest is history. It all started when I was 4 or 5 years old, when I was introduced through this little piece here. Okay, let me talk you through loads of different types that you can get. Alright, so this is what is known as a tumble stone. Can you see that it's quite smooth? I'm not sure if you can see that. It's quite smooth, fits in your hand, okay, and goes in your pocket. Let me show you a range of other tumble stones. So that one was tiger's eye. Got things like merlinite, and this one's obviously not as round and not as tactile. You can see it's quite thin. Got a piece of merlinite, got a piece of moldavite. That one's quite bumpy. Can you see that? Okay. Oh, you can also see the light through it. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, so yeah, you can get a whole range of different tumble stones, and the idea with tumble stones is that they fit in your hand and in your pocket. They're that kind of size where you can hold on to them and keep them close to you. So, tumble stones, they tend to be the ones that you find in the crystal shops or at crystal shows. They tend to be in quite a lot of places. You can get eggs like this. So, I've got a bigger egg, I've got a smaller egg. Okay, they're eggs. You can get them as, what else have we got? Bigger tumble stones. So got a piece of orbicular jasper there. So bigger tumble stone there. It obviously doesn't fit in my pocket as easily as one of the little ones would. Then you can get things like the spheres. So I've got a sphere here. This is selenite. Other spheres, so that one's quite a big one, and then you can get smaller ones like this size and that size. What else have we got? Can you imagine what I was just doing, running around the house looking for all the different crystals? It was fantastic, and I noticed they're everywhere, which is pretty cool. Okay, then you get rough pieces like this one. So this is a rough piece of rose quartz. I tend to put this like in a corner of the room, or you know, somewhere where you want to attract certain things. I'm going to go into the properties of crystals in a minute. It's got a rough piece of rose quartz, so it comes in big sizes, you get them in little sizes too. I'll put that one to one side. Then you can get pieces like this. So this is amethyst, and it's I love this. I have this one actually by the side of my bed, and what I do on an evening is I place my crystals on it and recharge them like that. So amethyst is good for recharging. So you can get slices like this. Then you can get things like this, right? So this is a septarian slice. Can you see that? That's a septarian slice. You can get things like that. You can get bookends. Have you ever seen bookends? So these were given to me as a present. Love them, absolutely love them. So you get bookends. You get things like decorative pieces. So I've got a serpentine bowl that I got from when I went to the Lizard. Serpentine stone made by R. Hendy and Son, genuine from the Lizard in Cornwall. So that's a bowl. Then I've got a lighthouse. Again, this is from Cornwall. Serpentine lighthouse. So you can get decorative pieces, loads of different shapes and sizes. You get a lot of Buddhas and elephants and animals generally and that kind of thing. Then you can get palm stones. Okay, so here we've got a palm stone. Fits in my hand. You can see it's smooth as well. So palm stones are great. Got another slice here. So this is almost like a palm stone because it fits in your hand, but it's not got the rounded bottom to it. It's literally a slice. Okay, so gorgeous piece of carolite there. Really drawn to that one. Then you can get things like what else have we got here? You can get really nice decorative pieces like this. Let me see if you can see that. Let's see if I can get a good image of that for you. Can you see the individual points on here? Get gorgeous decorative pieces like that. Okay. What else have I got here? Oh, then I've got things like wands. So wand here, tiger's eye, stromalite, different sizes. So I'll hold it up for size, right? So that one was tiger's eye. Then I've got this one. This is rose quartz with a point on the end. Can you see the point? There you go. Calcite, different size again. Got a really cool one here. Can you see that? Sodalite, can you see the point on it? The bendiness on it, it's cool, that one. Amethyst, again, we've got a point on it. You sometimes get them actually with double points, so you might have another point at that side. And then even smaller again, so we've got, there we go, that's a clear quartz, can you see that? And that one's got a point on it too. Okay, so wands, brilliant. We can also get jewellery. Let's do jewellery. Okay, so rings. Can you see that? Garnet in there. Usually get them set in stone, set as stones in pieces of jewellery. So you'll be familiar with diamond and ruby and all that kind of thing. I've got a lovely piece of garnet in that one. You can get necklaces and bracelets. Can you see here? I've got tiny, tiny pieces of tiger's eye in there, set into sterling silver. You can get bigger pieces like this one. So I wear this, as you've probably seen, quite a lot of the time. So this is tiger's eye, that stone there. We've got calcite and we've got citrine. You see all of those in there? So 3 different stones. You can get them set as a bigger piece instead of the little pieces. You can also get them where you have them on a chain like this, or a necklace of some description, or a cord with a piece on the end there. So a gorgeous piece of carolite there. What else have we got? Pendulums. We haven't talked pendulums, so you can get pendulums which are on a, let me see back a bit, are on a string like this. You can use those for dowsing, which is pretty cool. Lots of different shapes and sizes of crystals for those. Last thing to show you, I've got, these are actually one of my all-time favourites. Got to do them justice, wait a minute. Right, then we've got prayer beads. Okay, so start off with moonstone. I've got moonstone beads, got a little bit of tassel at the end there. And how these work is you've got 3 sets of 11 beads, and then you've got a spacer, and then you've got another 11 beads, and that helps with your counting. when you're doing prayers or mantras or any of those kind of things like that. So moonstone, got gold tiger's eye, which is, as you probably know by now, one of my favourites. So again, we've got spacers, but this time different kind of spacer. Let's see if I can show you that one. Can you see that little bead in the middle there? Okay, so we've got again three sets of 11. So 1, 2, 3, and then the cord at the bottom, and then I've got some blue tiger's eye as well. Similar setup. Okay, so these the separated bead is a little bit bigger on this one, so you can get them as prayer beads. Now, that's just what I found when I was here. Oh, I haven't mentioned the star of the show, have I? Churches. You can get big pieces of amethyst churches, citrine churches. And these are great because you can recharge your crystals on these. So you can hang things on them to recharge them. You can put the tumble stones, there's a little ledge down here, I don't know if you can see that. You can put your tumble stones in them like that. Leave them overnight and it recharges. Fantastic. Okay, so you can get churches as well. Star of the show. As I said, this isn't it. Okay, this is literally just what I found within 2 minutes of wandering around my home. I'd love to hear from you. What have you got? Show me the crystals that you've got. Show me the pieces that you've got. You know, if you've got different types to what I've got, I'd love to see them. As you can probably tell, I love crystals quite a bit. All right, so when you've got crystals, what's really important is before you use them, you cleanse them. Make sure that they're cleansed. Loads of different ways to cleanse them. You can do it in water, you can do it in salt, you can do it by burying them outside. You can put them under the moonlight. You can use one of my favourites, I know this was a favourite from last video, singing bowl. You can put them in the singing bowl and you can cleanse them, see, make sure that they're nice and clean, okay? So make sure you're cleansing your crystals. Second thing is, when you're using them, program them, okay? So if you're wanting to use them for a specific purpose, then make sure that you program it for that particular purpose that you wanted to use it for. So programming is vital, as is cleansing. If you've got quite a few crystals, make sure you cleanse them regularly, because they do pick up things from the atmosphere, things from other people. If somebody else touches your crystals, make sure you cleanse them again before you go to use them for any particular purpose. Okay, let's talk properties. So, crystals, they come from the earth, right? They come from the earth. They're part of the solidifying process in a nutshell, right? They're part of the solidifying process when you've got molten rock, solidifies, then you get the crystals forming, and that's how we get these wonderful gifts. They're a gift from the earth. When it comes to properties, each crystal has got a different property. So for instance, well known, rose quartz, really well known for being the love crystal. Okay, sodalite, well known for being the crystal for the mind. Amethyst, great crystal for spiritual connection, higher guidance, meditation, that kind of thing. So yeah, loads of different properties for the different crystals. If you're really into crystals and you want to know the properties, I can highly recommend Judy Hall's book, The Crystal Bible. You'll see this everywhere. She's got a few different versions. I've got the first two. The first one's got pretty much most day-to-day crystals in it. The second one is an update with all the newer crystals. There is a third crystal Bible as well, which has got the even more new and up-to-date crystals in there. So when you're wanting to work with crystals, I always say go with what you're drawn to. However, if you know that you're wanting to achieve a certain thing, so if you're wanting to achieve certain properties or get certain qualities from those crystals, then you would hone in on those particular crystals that will give you that kind of quality. So if I wanted to experience more self-love and self-care, I'd be holding on to a piece of rose quartz and having that in my pocket maybe. You know, if I wanted to have a clear mind so I could think about how I put together a program, or, you know, doing something a bit more intellectual, then chances are I'll probably hold on to a piece of sodalite instead. Okay, so different properties, you can choose the crystals that you're working with based on the properties that you see and that you want to experience. So how can you use these crystals? How can you use crystals day to day? Loads of different usages. So I mentioned a few already. We've got things like decorations, okay? Having them around your home for decoration. You could use them for cleansing. So I use like the church here, and I use my little piece of amethyst here to cleanse other crystals. Other uses, so like the wands, you can use them for massage. Okay, you can use them for if you've got any sort of ailment. Now I love crystals for this. Crystals have got a really great healing properties. So for instance, if I've got a headache, I'll sit with a piece of smoky quartz right where my head is hurting. I'll lay down and I'll hold that crystal on there, and I'll try to still my mind for as long as possible, because it draws off the negativity. You know, that's a property of smoky quartz. So if you've got any sort of ailment, you'd choose the crystal associated with the ailment that you're experiencing, and then you'd situate it wherever it tells you to situate it on your body. And it usually works within the chakra system. Other ways that you could use it, so I'm looking around to remind myself, so I've mentioned massage. You can hold them, so for instance, if I wanted to journal, okay, or if I wanted to meditate, or if I wanted to visualize or anything like that, you can sit with them in your hand. So regularly I'll sit with a piece of certain crystals in my hands while I'm meditating, or I'm journaling, or I'm visualizing, or doing any of that kind of inner work. So you can use it for that purpose. Sleep. The first thing that I said to you is my piece of tiger's eye. I used it for sleep. It can help with your sleep. Now make sure you're not using those crystals that are quite highly activated and highly energized kind of crystals when you're wanting to sleep, because quite simply you won't. Make sure you're using those nurturing, those stilling, those supportive kind of crystals if you're wanting to use them for sleep. So sleep. What else? Recovery and healing. You can use them for recovery and healing of any sort of illness or surgeries or any of that kind of thing as well. What else have we got here? Elixir, last one. So you can put a crystal into a glass of water, you can let it sit there for a while, take the crystal out, and then you can drink the elixir. Now, you've got to be careful with the crystals that you use. You wouldn't use malachite for that, because malachite is quite toxic. I don't have a piece here in front of me, so I can't show you, but malachite is quite toxic, so you wouldn't drink an elixir with malachite in it. There are other things that you wouldn't touch as well, so if you're going to do an elixir, make sure you research it well, make sure that it's appropriate for you to drink that liquid. Okay. Right, whirlwind tour of crystals. I absolutely love crystals, I don't know if you can tell. One of my all-time favourite things in the world. Talk to you about my journey. You can probably tell that I've been into it for quite some time. I know quite a lot of stuff about crystals these days. In fact, when I'm doing my readings as part of the rituals, you know, the manifesting and releasing rituals that I do on the Authentic Self UK Facebook group, I do a crystal reading for people. And the information that comes out from picking a crystal from somebody is quite intense. Okay, you can tell so much from crystals. So much that I couldn't go into today. I'm already nearly on 20 minutes here, so I'm going to finish this video here for you today. If you're interested in crystals, you want to find out more, you've got any questions, you want to know anything specific about certain crystals, or you know, if you want to know how to cleanse them, how to use them, any of that stuff, any questions, I'm going to be live on Facebook Wednesday 4 PM GMT, that's UK time, live on Facebook. I'll put the link below, in the box below. If you want to check in with me, ask me any questions, give me any comments, start off a discussion, please do. It'd be great to see you there. If you can't make it to the live call, don't worry, post on this video, let me know your questions or comments, and I'll make sure I talk about them in the live video. Crystals, so much you can do with crystals. Check in with me if you've got any questions, let me know. Live Wednesday, Facebook, 4 PM GMT UK time. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's been a long one, passionate one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on The Soul Work. Bye for now.